Is it unprofessional to car share? To save some money, my colleague and I decided to start car sharing to and from work. Our workplace operates a flexible working policy between 7 and 7, and we often come in early and leave early to avoid traffic, which has never been a problem, and a lot of colleagues do the same. We tend to try and work around our meetings, and if either of us need to stay late for something, the other does also, and vice versa. This has been working really well for us both. However, recently my manager has made comments about it being unprofessional to be car sharing and said we should stop, stating that it was due to creating outside relationships with colleagues. There's no policy against socializing with colleagues, but obviously the fact that it's been pointed out and made a big deal of makes it awkward. My employer actually promotes groups, etc. within the workplace. For what it's worth, we're both straight men and both of us are working in the same team at the same level. This has never affected our jobs and we still come and go at the same time as we always have. The only thing that has changed is the fact that we come in and go together. How can I approach my manager about this? How would this be regarded unprofessional? He clearly has no issue with the work timings, as everyone in our office has certain times they come and go, which has been this way for a long time. We work in a busy city center, so we would consider it to be better for the environment and the people living in the area to reduce the number of vehicles. This has made it awkward for us both, because people now make a big deal as a joke when we come and go, but our manager seems to be taking it seriously. He doesn't see how it is affecting us based off how other colleagues are texting to it, especially since we're not entirely sure what we've done wrong.
Your manager is a prat one. I can't put it any more simply than that. Well, I could, but it would involve unprofessional language. You've made it very clear that you've done everything possible to ensure that your car sharing doesn't affect your professional life. Frankly, how you get to work is your business and your manager should keep out of it. While that's all well and good for me to say, it doesn't really help you as you've still got your manager to deal with. I would make some discreet inquiries as to whether your company has a policy on car sharing. If there isn't one, then 1. British English slang largely meaning fool, but also implying intentional behavior as opposed to accidental.
No, it's not unprofessional. And I echo Philip Kendall's thoughts. Some organizations actively encourage car sharing. I used to work for a major clothing retailer in the UK, and they offered a financial incentive, other than the obvious fuel saving, for people to travel into work together by way of discount vouchers that could be used in the staff shops, and a huge number of staff took advantage of this. In my team, of 50, alone probably half the team car shared. The business actually had its own area on lift share, and car share vehicles got priority parking places. Key benefits: it's better for the environment, it reduces the number of parking spaces needed by staff, lots of other companies encourage it, it reduces any financial strain on the pair of you. I can't actually think of a good reason why your manager would have an issue with it, unless he's seen Peter Kay's car share and thinks you're going to bunk off and spend the day in the zoo. For Josh's suggestion, here are a few relevant links. Knee direct, car sharing benefits. Implementing car sharing schemes save business money. Why should I encourage car sharing?
As Philip Kendall so accurately put it, your manager is a prat one, although Wazik and Pillock would be good descriptions too. This answer is to suggest an appropriate way to deal with his pratishness. Start by ignoring him. You ask how to approach him, but so far it's just comments, and if you do nothing there is a pretty good chance that he not follow up. Maybe try not to mention your carpool in front of him for a few weeks. If he brings it up again, ask him why he thinks it's a problem. It's possible he has some reason why he thinks carpooling is bad for the company, and you can ask him what it is. Unprofessional isn't of itself a reason without a bad effect. Unless he has a good and unexpected reason, say to him politely but firmly that there is nothing unprofessional about carpooling, it helps the environment, it's not against company policy, and that it's none of his business how employees get to work. If he takes any action against you for this, though I'm not quite sure what he's going to do, go to our. One of HR's jobs is to prevent bad things happening to the company, and having a manager make an idiot of himself is a bad thing for the company. They can tell you whether the company officially frowns on carpooling. Note, it is surprising how effective ignoring something like this can be, initially. If the manager realizes after the fact that he said something stupid, addressing him on it will force him into confrontation mode, whereas if nobody says anything to him he will be happy to forget about it. Prat, Wazik and Pillock all mean roughly, stupidly annoying person.
Edit, when asked my manager stated that it was due to creating outside relationships with colleagues. There could be some justification for this if you work in highly sensitive areas, top secret government stuff, financial auditing, etc., where outside relationship with colleagues can be seen as a security risk. Another scenario where this could be warranted is if your colleague is your boss or the other way round, because it could lead to favoritism. But if neither of these is the case, I would call your manager's view nonsensical. As for how to discuss the topic with him, I'd ask him to clarify how and why exactly this is unprofessional or has negative effects. And stress these benefits. Would consider it to be better for the environment and the people living in the area to reduce the number of vehicles.
The problem with all the answers so far is that if your manager continues to say, I don't care, don't do it, which I would bet he will, you've got nothing to reply with. So how I see it, there are two options. Discuss with HR about the policy, and if they consider car sharing okay, follow up with the potential of harassment, unprofessional conduct of the manager. If they don't, see option number 2, HR are there to stop lawsuits that would impact the company because of employees, and a manager overstepping their bounds would be one of those moments. Note that polishing off your CV here would be a good thing. Stop car sharing. In short, from what you've described, I don't see this getting resolved without pulling in a third party telling your manager that he's an idiot and to shut up. This will undoubtedly impact your relations with him for the worse. And he may try to find other ways to retaliate.
It's hard to judge a situation secondhand, but your manager could simply be old-fashioned in this regard, as Douglas Adams said. I've come up with a set of rules that describe our reactions to technologies. Anything that is in the world when you're born is normal and ordinary and is just a natural part of the way the world works. Anything that's invented between when you're 15 and 35 is new and exciting and revolutionary, and you can probably get a career in it. Anything invented after you're 35 is against the natural order of things. Depending on your relationships in the company and plans, you might decide to simply ignore him, or have a quick chat with him, and point out that you're trying to save more, save the planet, and just list all the benefits of the ride sharing, maybe even finding some prominent people using it.
I've found it's best to be direct about these kinds of things lest you let them fester. Start by ignoring the situation greater than your boss was having a bad day and said something stupid. Then if it comes up again, directly state that what you do on your own time is your business and commuting to from work is done on your time, nor does it affect company image. If that doesn't solve it, you may want to involve the 1-2 punch of your boss's boss and HR, as your boss is overreaching. Won't help your relationship with your boss, but it'll be good for the environment.